It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And just as the show started, the sun has come out and it's a bright, beautiful, sunny day today.
I kind of preferred the clouds and the nice breeze.
I did too, but hey, Milberger's has a lot going on today, and there's a lot going on this weekend here in San Antonio.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, it's just hard to believe that we just continue getting more plants. All those lantanas in full bloom. There's at least 6 or 8 different selections. Mark's Cuffia over there, and there's one, and the one that's on sale, the
skullcap.
Yeah,
yes.
skullcap, and it's a favorite of the pollinators.
Yeah.
Well, at least
deer,
today.
the deer don't eat it either, do they, Mark?
No.
So,
At least the sign says they don't.
Yeah.
I was told by Milberger staff that everything that's on sale is available and in stock, and there is plenty of stuff.
Well, you know what
sale.
appeared in the list for the first time in a while?
What is that?
Shade trees.
Shade trees, yeah. It's been
Lots of
it's been a
shade.
good
They
while.
listed some of the shade trees, and then every one of the recommended varieties you have to expect that it's here at Milberger's. And they didn't list an aqua, but I think they have an aqua, and and all of the oaks we've talked about, cedar elms. And as Mark says, you just got to be a little more careful when you plant them this time of the year. But those container-grown plants are relatively easy and successful to transplant 12 months out of the year.
You just have to remember that famous 3-2-1 watering schedule to establish them. Famous? Well, it's famous in my own mind. But go to the SAWS gardening website. That's gardeningstylesa.com. And you just look at establishment watering, and you'll find that that program for trees. It's 3 times a week in the absence of rain, which beforehand we used to say quite often, but we're going to get some more rain this week, hopefully. But 3 times a week for the first month, twice a week for the second month, and lastly, the last month, it's once a week. The amount doesn't change. You're just kind of splitting it up differently. And the website will tell you exactly how much. Roughly, it's 1 to 2 gallons per diameter inch. So if you had a 2-inch tree, you're going to water a maximum of 4 gallons per each time.
And there's this one of the most important watering is at the beginning, after you dig the hole for the tree. And the hole needs to be slightly wider or twice as wide as the container, and about the same depth. We found out that these recommended tree varieties do pretty well even when they're not as deep as they have been in the container.
Yeah.
In the old days, we used to
say right at ground level, and what we found was often the tree in the pot was a little deeper than should have been, and 2, that organic matter that was grown in that pot will sink, and so the tree eventually sinks 1 to 2 to almost 3 inches below the ground. So we have recommended plant high
You got lots of choices in tree varieties. Of course, live oak is always a good choice. It's not the fastest growing, but it's moderately speed.
Yeah.
And my favorite is still Texas red oak. It's a fast grower and very nice shape, just like live oak, and quite often has some fall color. Deciduous tree. Then the other cedar elm is a
I like
good
cedar
choice.
elm, I like chinkapin oak, and I like Mexican white oak.
Yeah,
I think they all grow very fast with minimal pests and good shape. I like the shape.
And if you want something that is a little, I was going to say weird, but that may not be a good description. Just a little unusual, showier.
Yeah.
It's Mexican
The Mexican sycamore?
sycamore. Yeah.
That's another one of our handful. I can remember them because I can list them on my hand, but that's another fast growing with minimal pests, if
That's
any.
right. Now, if you live east of Central Texas, then the regular sycamore is a good choice. But here you want to use the Mexican sycamore because it's less disease threat and does better with our soils and our erratic rainfall and quite often. What is the disease that our normal sycamores are faced with?
Oh, they have two big pests. One is anthracnose, and that infects both the twigs and the leaves. And then we have lace bugs in about August or so, and that really, it speckles. All you can see on the leaf is a lot of yellow speckles on the leaf, and then you turn it over and you see all these sucking insects, these little lace bugs. And that generally occurs in the latter part of July and August.
And you don't want a sycamore. They grow so fast and they grow so large, and then if you get the anthracnose, you're faced with having to take them down, which is not the easiest task. It's because of the shape and the weights and the speed of growth. But you're just not faced with the same problems with the Mexican sycamore. It's showy, kind of a different bark and large leaves and showy leaves, but it does not seem to be bothered by any of those same pests. So it's a good choice. And it's one of the things is a lot of neighborhoods are better off when you are not every tree you're planting is a live oak tree or even an oak. You want to have a variety of a tree species, and so Mexican sycamore is a good choice, and the cedar elm, and even our Arizona cypress is if you want a conifer in the neighborhood. It can put up with our soil and our weather, and lots of different choices and shapes and some kind of different colors and foliage too. It's pretty interesting.
All the way from a green to silver.
And some of them are kind of reddish, and it's a good choice. I've got one that kind of got buried in the when I planted it. It was kind of closed in by pecans and red oak, but it is coming out now and getting more sun and really looks more prosperous. And in the neighborhood, though, they are really doing well in the neighborhood, even though we don't have much soil in that neighborhood. So that's another good choice.
They're all great choices, and as you said, shade trees, they are on sale. Number 15 and number 30, starting at $169.99 on sale, 15% off.
You know, another sale item in there that we haven't seen in a while is we had the holly, dwarf Burford holly, but now we got the
dwarf Yopon.
Yopon, yeah. Those two are classics, boy. You can't go wrong with them. They're disciplined growers. They can tolerate some shade. They don't seem to be bothered by pests. Now you do have to you have to make sure that you keep track of their water they're getting, especially while they're getting established, because they don't warn you if they're in need more water.
You won't know until it's too late.
Yeah, but they're very drought tolerant. So if you just kind of make a note to water them by one of Mark's formulas, and you can expect great performance from them, and they're very attractive. I like the fact too that they're so disciplined, and they have basically a uniform growth rate, and so if you want a real disciplined, orderly planting, like against the wall or a thin area near a fence, those are certainly good choices. And by your building, surrounding a sidewalk or whatever. Great, and on sale. What?
Yes.
Do you remember what the sale? How much they are?
Yeah, the dwarf Yopon holly, number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale $16.88. That's a
good price.
Oh yeah.
I like it. That's one of the few shrubs that I think can really be uniform. You don't even have to prune them if you don't want to, but they will respond to formal pruning.
It's quite a contrast. The dwarf, how disciplined it is compared to its larger cousin, because they'll take advantage of that large one will take advantage as much space as you're willing to give it.
Very open, as opposed to the dwarf, which is very closed.
And it is one that really responds to pruning too. It's a lot of time. It's the variety of species that gets chosen to if they're doing some fancy pruning on it.
I'm not going to say bonsai, but bonsai-like. In a atrium or a courtyard next to a little fountain. Yeah, you can often see a dwarf Yopon being used that way.
Well, I was thinking more of the full-size Yopon, how often they are.
Well, that's the one I'm talking about, but yeah, kind of like a big open one.
If you got your space is relatively thin, you can a little bit of pruning and it'll fit. Right. It'll fit whatever you got there.
It's showing the dwarf Yopons typically go to about 3 to 5 feet tall, 4 to 6 feet wide. How big do the regular ones usually
the standard Yopon would be?
Yopon.
12 to 15 maybe?
Wow. More, even more.
Oh, do you think so? Okay.
Yeah, but 12 to 15 is pretty common if you got limited soil.
Okay.
But some of them will be pretty huge. I've a few times looked over there at like at the botanical gardens, and so what in the world is that plant over there? It's so large, and then I'll go over and look, and it's a Yopon, that holly that has responded to being in good soil and getting adequate water and everything. But it'll survive even when the soil is thin, and it can survive pretty well if it's established in our erratic rainfall too.
I could also admit that usually I say that for the Vitex, usually 15 to 18 feet, and then we look across over here, or at the most, and then we look across the nursery and look at one. Well, that's 25 feet tall and 25 feet wide.
That's right, and that one too. You can describe it as kind of takes advantage of whatever space is available, but they're also like this one here is pretty disciplined looking grow, and so the hollies can be that way too. So lots of choices, and they're wonderful choices, and on sale.
Yes. And also on sale, we have 3 Texas Superstars that are on sale. Yes.
Which ones?
Well, for one, the Vitex.
Okay.
Number 3, regularly $29.99, on sale $19.88. Lantanas.
That's the other
And
one.
number 1, $9.99, on sale $6.88. And Vinca Cora Series Periwinkle, 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale $8 for $12.
Oh, and that's the deer-proof one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's we like periwinkle for being deer-proof, and then additionally get the
Disease.
Cora
Oh, yeah.
and or similar selection that is disease resistant.
Aerial phytophthora
Yeah.
resistant. Yeah. Just amazing how quickly we've responded to the availability of Cora and its ability to survive aerial phytophthora. There was a while there where we kept saying, well, better not plant any until
Don't
August.
plant it, or July 4th at the earliest.
And now we're planting them in March, just like the old days. Yeah.
I walked through the nursery and I found some back in like April 1st, and I'm like, is this Fool's April Fool's on me? But no, sure enough, they had some Cora periwinkle.
You know, and the other thing about that Cora, Vinca before Cora always struck me as kind of if you were into violet or the lavender version, that's what it was, and a pink and a lavender. But man, now the red and the white, several whites are just.
I must admit, I like the red and the white because that white is really white.
Yeah, you can get the pure white, or you can get a white with a red center, kind of like the pansies, So, yeah, I think we've got a pretty good choice of the Vincas on sale.
Now that is the periwinkle is full sun, but if you wanted something that could handle full sun and shade, I'd go with the Pintas. I don't know if they're on sale, but they are for sale. Here we have a good selection of Pintas. That's what I was looking at right before the show.
Yeah,
I have a spot which I found out earlier this week has 4 hours of sun.
Oh, really?
And then shade. And I'm like,
and it survives well.
Well, no, I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
So I'm like walking through the nursery going,
Now, I've got some that got 2 hours. 2 hours of blast in the afternoon, and they're doing wonderful. Now, also 2 hours in the morning, and they do. I think they do a little better. Last year, I kind of thought of the ones with the afternoon sun were the best, but of course, every year is a little different. But both of them are great. Now, they also have some really nice, intense colors. So.
Right. I think I'm going to go for red on this one.
Yeah. Well, the red and then that white is a good color, too. And they rate pretty high as an all-star nectar plant, especially for a shade plant. I mean, they're in one of my articles yesterday, I mentioned that they're in the same league with zinnias almost in terms of being a nectar source for the pollinators.
What do we got? Yes, sir.
Did Calvin say "Go Spurs, go" yet?
Not yet. We're
not
building
yet.
up to it.
I've been trying to. I've been waiting and looking.
Been trying to
for you
segue
get
into it.
that, but I'm nervous.
We're all a little nervous, but
What?
oh boy. All right. 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Milberger's Gardening,
What did you
South
say?
Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. I know during the break, I noticed it. I think Calvin noticed it too. We had a hummingbird humming around these skull caps right here in front of us.
Yeah, he's been back too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of those pink skull caps, they are on sale. And a number one, regularly $9.99, on sale $6.88.
Yeah, they're another nectar all-star.
Mm-hmm.
The pollinators really love them. You know what else? I've seen the red admirals this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't seen any queen butterflies here yet. I've started to see queen butterflies in my neighborhood. Those of you that are not familiar with them, they are the cousins of the monarchs, and they don't migrate, so they'll be here all summer, and they'll be taking advantage of, besides the nectar sources, they also lay their eggs exclusively on milkweed, just like monarchs, and they'll take advantage of the tropical milkweed or whatever milkweeds that you got. The good news is that by the time the monarchs get back in the fall, the plants have usually recovered from any queen egg laying and consumption of foliage. But so you will. A lot of folks think that they're seeing monarchs, but they're the queen butterflies.
So will the queens lay caterpillars or lay eggs rather? Sorry, the tropical.
Oh gosh,
milkweed?
Yes, for sure.
And will they feed on it?
Oh gosh, yes, they love it too.
Now I'm smiling because we have a large quantity of flowering tropical milkweed right here in front of us, and very beautiful, very beautiful.
Yeah.
I just have to say that because I was on a Facebook. I'm on members of several chat rooms across the country on that, and somebody brought up tropical milkweed over in Georgia, and boy howdy, then the comment section was fast and furious on that.
Well, I was doing the same kind of research that you were doing, and trying to, and there is quite a bit of debate, and in the end, you know, the discussions always end with, well, despite the fact that there might be some negative issues with the availability of tropical milkweed, they certainly, all the monarch and monarch-related butterflies favor it and utilize it. And the gardeners are the same, because it's so attractive and so easy to grow.
I think Calvin and I pretty much have a simple, efficient solution to it. It's come up approximately October 1st. We cut it down.
Yeah, and what we're trying to accomplish there is that and we're not alone. That's one of the common management techniques that's offered if you're going to use tropical milkweed. We're trying to get the migrating monarchs, those that get here in September and right by October 1st. We don't want them to linger any longer than they need to in this area. We want them to get plenty of nectar, and we want them to head south to the wintering ground. The problem, if they lay their eggs, then the parents die, and the caterpillars, they take a month for them to mature. So at the earliest, they're ready to head south on November 1st, and then of course you're in the potentially challenging weather period, and then besides you lose the parents, and then the young that have matured, they've got to survive that trip from I can't remember how long it is, Mark. I think it's another 400 or 500 miles from here down to the Mexico City area. But all it takes is a couple of storm days, and reduces that population considerably. So that's where we're trying. Now, if you're further north, they've usually moved on. Although that's not always the case. If the weather is
so
good.
the past couple of years it has been extremely variable because we like to say, September 22nd, fall. What's that? Equinox? Yeah, fall equinox. And that's when they start moving down.
But if they're pretty independent.
Yeah.
If they're enjoying the weather in Minnesota or Kansas or Michigan, they have a tendency to hang there, and then that, of course, if you're stuck in Michigan in October, November, then you're really taking a chance on trying to make it to Mexico City by when the weather is still decent and protective. So that's part of This is the monarch breeding situation is complex and interesting. A lot to learn. Still a lot to learn, and a lot of opportunities for gardeners and naturalists to contribute to keeping that population successful. So we'll talk about it a lot, and then I think we'll continue to offer classes and distribute milkweed plants for backyard gardens, and we're trying this year. We're trying or distributed some seeds, stratified seeds, and then we're collecting data a new way too with the addressed envelope, and also they can send the information on the data sheet on the computer. So it's amazing how difficult it was to collect the information on the phones, and every year it gets harder. So now we'll try and see how successful we can be with the addressed envelopes and the computer address. Hopefully it'll work.
Hopefully so. And as I said, there's a lot for sale here at Milberger's. A few other items we have is variegated flax lily, and then the number one, regularly $12.99, on sale $8.88. We have Mexican heather, also known as kufia, and a number one, regularly $9.99, on sale $6.88.
Why do you think that is so? People love that.
Well, one, it's we've seen a lot of pollinators on it over the years, but two, it's just kind of this little decorative plant. Lots of little flowers on it, good for a patio or edging.
I guess it's disciplined.
Yeah.
Now,
the only problem I have on it is I think it peters out after about 3 years. 2 to 3 years. But you got a good plant for 3 years or so.
Yeah. Well, if you watch of course, the display is large and impressive, but if you watch, people all look and read the label.
Stop. They always will stop and read the label.
And it doesn't matter that there's 25 other different wonderful-looking plants, too. The kufia always gets some attention. Now, and then, of course, as Mark mentioned, next to us is the tropical milkweeds. Lots of them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people stop at that, too.
Yeah, that's right. And, it's amazing how many people buy those.
Beautiful orange and yellow flowers. They're pretty good at it, too. That's what separates them from a lot of the native milkweeds, who are tough but very inconspicuous. But the tropical milkweed has these beautiful flowers on it.
That's right, and it's easier to get it to germinate, and much more successful transplanting it.
And in our eyes, much more appreciated by the butterflies of all types.
Yeah, it seems like. I mean, if you do a research project to find out which is the favorite, you'd be hard pressed to have one of the others identified in front of tropical milkweed. And of course, one of the problems is that it wants to stay blooming. The native milkweeds have a tendency to drop their leaves early so that they don't seduce the monarchs to stay in a place longer. But this tropical milkweed says, stay here, take advantage of the blooms and the nectar. And it's tough if you get caught in the bad weather trying to get down to Mexico City.
We also have Liriope Big Blue, regularly $8.99, on sale for $5.88.
What is it?
That's a variety Big Blue. Is that the one? Weren't you interested in it? And I was describing Big Blue and Giganta are the two. Or was that a collar?
Might have been
It must have been a collar.
Liriope, yes.
Yeah,
it's either or.
Either or.
It's tomato and tomato.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful one of the plants we always list for alternatives to if you got too much shade for regular lawn grass. You can certainly use Liriope and Mexican dwarf Ruellia, Asiatic jasmine. You're right.
Well, the Aztec grass, which is also on sale.
It sure is.
Aztec grass. Or there's a lily that's also very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Flax lily. There you go. Very similar to the Aztec.
I'm seeing more and more the one that starts with A.
Achuga.
Yeah. More and more Achuga is being used.
Okay. I love it. It also goes by the name of bugleweed. I like Achuga better. It sounds better. But don't use it in areas where you have deer. That's the only caveat I got.
The deer love it.
The deer love it to extreme.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at this salad bar.
Yeah, I can. If you had a deer garden, you would have Achuga along with the horse herb, and they would be very content and very happy with you. Good choice for the ground cover in the shade.
I have seen it used in the King William area.
Yeah, layered.
And so they had a brick patio, maybe just a tad wide spaces, and then Achuga in those. Also, I've also seen monkey grass used, oregano. Creeping thyme also in that. So lots of different things you can use, but for heavy shade areas,
the textures are wonderful, and if you're on some of those landscapes in that area, and they take advantage of the shade, enjoy it. They have some wonderful trees, and then the ground cover is shade tolerant.
Yeah, well, the one thing they have is what? Soil. All from the hill country over thousands of years, and they have it all in Southtown and Lavaca and King William. They have soil, and so they can grow big trees and lots of different plants and what have you. But
well, how did they get the soil from the hill country?
well, it all washed down.
Okay.
Floods and these things that occur on occasion that the water washes down and comes down and deposited below downtown.
I was just wondering if there was some of my soil that they
Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably find some.
The 2 inches of precious soil that I have.
Oh. We should get people to talk about that. So 48 hours down in Lavaca, we had 2.5 inches in that last 2 big storms, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
2 big nights.
Yeah, we love to hear. 210.
We're down to 20. The aquifer deficit is 25 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I looked at it this morning. I know we got to go to a break, but I looked at it this morning. It was 242. So historically, 663, right? So we're getting close. We're creeping up.
20-some feet.
All right. Well, yeah, let us know what rainfall you got this past week. 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Advertisement.
Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
You want me to do this right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's do it. So was a booth here with some CPS Energy representatives, and I sitting talking with them, and we're talking about 811. Remember that number, 811. If you are planning to dig anything, whether it be a water line or tree, palm, anything, when you're digging, if it is below 3 inches, 4 inches, anything like that, I'm being somewhat exaggerative, hyperbolic, but the law in Texas is you have to call 811, and you will get a representative out there. Doesn't cost you anything, but they will come out and mark where your lines are. They don't always do the saws very well. That's because our lines are it's hard to detect a water line, but usually our lines go straight from the meter straight to the house. So what we're looking for is fiber optics, water, gas lines, any kind of electrical lines into the soil, and they can find them and mark them for you, and you know exactly where those lines are, and you can design and dig appropriately. So those numbers are, again, 811. Always call before you start the project. It'll be a couple of days, not more than that, and they'll come out and mark those lines for it. And it is the law in Texas.
Giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah, he gave it a thumbs up on that, the guys. So I've been doing this a long time in conjunction with them when I was with the Forest Service and at SAWS. And it's very important. It's free. It's easy. 811.
Well, and if you've ever broken a line, gosh, you just you sober up afterwards, and because it's easy. Mark keeps saying it's easy to get the inspection, but if you break that line, there's nothing easy about it. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of expense sometimes, and it's very inconvenient and messy and can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous. We just have a recent example of a broken line nearby at Preston Hollow that caused an explosion. Actually, 2 explosions. Now, there probably wasn't any digging involved prior to that, but it's a great example of what may happen if you do dig and the lines have not been marked and you do cause an accident. And we want to prevent any type of accident.
So, yeah.
Remember that number before you dig. In fact, that's kind of their tagline. Before you dig, call 811.
And it's free, so it's always a good...
Oh, it's free. It's
free.
easy number. You know, we have several numbers now. We had 911, and we had 311 for the city. What was it?
411?
Do we have a 411?
I thought we did. Maybe
I don't know. Call us to tell us what we are.
Well,
but 811 is
the
free.
411 is never busy.
Oh.
Of course, nobody ever answers it, but...
Yeah, and it's a wonderful little pamphlet. You can go online and see this. It's cpsenergy.com, and you can see all the little little tidbits they have on that, little advice that they have on that. But the main thing is, if you have a big digging project, make sure you call 811. It is the law.
And it may be a little inconvenient, but it's certainly worth it to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's certainly worth it to intervene so that the inconvenience of breaking a line or penetrating a line is avoided. So there's our little hummingbird. She is busy.
And that is a Rufus?
No,
a black chin.
The black chin, yeah. Female. But she loves that.
That skull cap.
Yeah, the pink skull cap.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's going all the way down and checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting into that's one of the advantages of moving into the warmer weather is that we are getting the hummingbirds and especially we're getting the butterflies now. We saw red admirals. We should see queens pretty soon. The sulfurs have been here. A lot of sulfurs. The sulfurs are the yellow ones. There's 3 or 4 different varieties of sulfur.
So the ones we can never remember or at least I had to relearn was the Admiral, right, and the patch. Something patch.
Yeah, the bordered patch.
Border patch.
They're small, but they're the ones that. We talk about them because they used to drive Milton crazy because their favorite spot to lay eggs is on sunflowers. Mm-hmm. And Milton had this thing about an affection for a sunflower, and without fail they picked it to lay the eggs, and the border patch caterpillars ate all the foliage off of it. But, if you've grown sunflowers, the foliage doesn't stay off long. They're back, taking advantage of whatever moisture's in the soil, and they'll have the flowers back on and the foliage back on, so that all of the other pollinators can take advantage of it. So, and let's see. Oh, and then all the giant all the swallowtails.
So I saw a giant swallowtail this morning.
Here?
No, in La Vaca neighborhood, and it was a big one too. It's just floating through all the hackberries, which reminds me. So black swallowtail likes our dill and fennel and parsley, and the tiger swallowtail likes our rutaceae, the citrus, and other things.
Everything they like.
But doesn't the giant like everything, right?
No.
It's the other way around?
The giant is the citrus.
Okay.
And then
the tiger is everything.
Tiger's everything, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Sorry.
I always, when I think of the giant swallowtail being down in my citrus trees, and then all the big trees that surround it, the hackberries and the ash and all that, I think of them being up there, your other
swallowtail. There may have been the giant may have been near my satsuma that I had, and it may have been laying eggs.
Well, but they spend a lot of time on gathering nectar too. In a very short time, it seems like to me, on laying eggs on the citrus. But they sneak it in, and one of the neat things about it is they don't. It doesn't seem like they lay and too many eggs and hatch too many caterpillars. So they're really not much of a threat to your all the foliage even on the relatively newly planted citrus. So you can usually tolerate having 1 or 2 of those giant swallowtail caterpillars, and they're so attractive. Now, of course, do you remember what the poop looks like? That's not necessarily attractive, but it's interesting. Weird.
It's white, right? Or
it looks like bird poop.
yeah, that's what it was.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, because we used to
bird poop that moves slowly. You have to watch it for a while, and then you go, "Oh, it is moving." Yeah.
But we used to get, seems like every single year, and we'll probably get some this year. We would get a gardener call and say, "You're not going to believe this, but it's true. I mean, I found this caterpillar that looks like bird poop."
Yeah.
I found that they're very judicious in their eating. So I have a large satsuma, but I may only have 4, maybe 5 caterpillars on it, if that. So it's they only eat a little bit, and they savor. I mean, they save most of the foliage on that. It's not like they're cousins, the black swallowtail, that will eat all your dill in one night.
That's right. It looks like the black swallowtails look like they hang out and they're hiding just before you're going to use the dill or fennel for your recipes.
They're looking in the window and watching, and they see you
let's
cooking.
Get it.
You get it now. Yeah. Calvin actually has some horror stories.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, and gardeners that grow and use a lot of those herbs for cooking, they all have horror stories too. With that, they usually tell though with a smile on their face at least 2 months after.
Yeah.
Not the day after. There's no smile. Sort of like Milton and his bordered patches on his sunflowers. But butterflies. We concentrate a lot on the monarchs because they're so interesting and attractive. But here in the San Antonio area, just amazing what the selection of butterflies that we have, and you can really have an interesting landscape because a lot of them, just like we've discussed, a lot of them only lay their eggs on certain plants. Like some of them on the vines, and of course the monarchs and queens on the milkweed. And all those swallowtails we talked about, each of them has a favorite area to lay their eggs. But you can, if you have a good choice of plants, you can expect to see those caterpillars and those butterflies.
Or a wide and varied flowers in your yard that you can see a wide variety of butterflies as well.
Yeah, we have trying to make a point the last few years of emphasizing that the nesting sites, plants, are not the only thing that's important. The nectar plants are almost as important, especially for some of those butterflies that do migrate. So you want both, and the nectar plants are usually easier to grow, and you got a lot of more choices, and they can fit in any kind of landscape look that you want to accomplish. So yeah, it's good. It's a fun process.
Oh, I bet. Well, we're going to take a break. 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer.
Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Calvin, I don't know if we haven't really discussed it today's show, but your article for this weekend.
That's right. We the article we talked about some tough weeds to deal with, and just some kind of a milestone in the garden. We've appreciated the snapdragons. They had a wonderful bloom period this spring, but they're about done for now. The rust has showed up. The rust is the fungal disease that attacks them as they reach about June 1st.
Yeah, I was going to say both the heat and disease is taking their toll.
So you can not feel too bad. It's hard to pull. It's hard to pull them when they're still looking good, and you want to plant your zinnias and your vincas, but if the snapdragons are still looking good, you wait to the last minute.
I always found that a problem with certain fruit trees and grapevines. You really have to prune them, and a lot of Texans just don't want to prune all that green material. Same thing with flowers. It's like, you have to pull them.
That's right. You get them out.
Or with vegetables, tomatoes. 1st of July, pull them. Right. But they're still producing. He
brings that up because it won't be long.
Yeah.
We got this June is the big production month for our spring tomatoes.
Yeah.
But then we like to pull them in July so that we can plant a new crop in August, and that crop will try to get a production before the cold weather arrives. But yeah, they're started to produce. The tomatoes started to produce well. But in terms of the article, we talk about the snapdragons, getting them, pulling them because of the blooms are no longer attractive, and you can sometimes if you've got them in containers, they're a little tough to pull out of it. So I usually have my pruning shears and just prune the tops off, and then I can plant my vincas and my zinnias in the space that's left there, because the one advantage of especially the zinnias is that the pollinators like them much better than the snapdragons. There's some of the you'll occasionally see a hummingbird at the snapdragons, but zinnias certainly are more attractive. And then of course the hot weather, you need the vincas and the zinnias to be growing. So then the other thing we talk about, I did another account of controlling Bermuda grass. The Bermuda grass, you talk about appreciating this warm weather and the rain.
Yeah.
The Bermuda grass just loves it and is taken over the garden. Mm-hmm. The good news is that there are herbicides that control grassy weeds, contact herbicides that can control grassy weeds that are labeled for use in the vegetable garden. But you got to make sure that they are, because that was what the problem we had a month ago. Was I I talked about the herbicides to control Bermuda grass, but I didn't emphasize enough that some of those with the same active ingredient are labeled for the vegetable garden, but most of them aren't. So you got to find them. And then Mark went ahead and checked in here at Milberger's, and he found.
And we opened up the little envelope that's the label, and like Calvin and I always say, the label is the law. And we found one that specifically had a table that listed all the vegetables that you could use it against the Bermuda in the garden.
Yeah, and then this article lists two of those. The one that we have here at Milberger's, which is Fertilome over the top, and then the other one was grass getter, I believe.
Yeah, that was a new one. When I read it this morning, I went, "Oh, I'll have to remember that and write that one down."
Monterey grass getter, and then high yield grass killer is another one. So there's at least three that have
plus the Ornamec, which we found the one day.
Mm-hmm.
The Ornamec, well, you can use Ornamec in the vegetable garden.
I don't think so. No.
You don't think so?
No. The Ornamec is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I
that's the one I got.
It's got the same active ingredient.
Uh-huh.
The problem is the label does not allow it.
Okay.
That was one of the issues. But those three, including the one here we have at Milberger's, but most nurseries have at least one of these products that you can use for Bermuda grass, and it works pretty well. Of course, you have to get access to you want to spray them before the Bermuda grass gets too tall and tough. Mm-hmm. And so you get it on there, follow the label instructions. Not only follow the label instructions as to where you can use it, but how you use it. So it's more effective, but it is very, very effective. And then I always like to remind folks, we didn't cover it, emphasize it in this article, but the sedgehammer. Yeah. If you're looking for controlling the sedge, what is the name we call it?
Oh, now you got me. Nut sedge.
Nut sedge. Yeah. Nut sedge is tough to control, but unless you use sedgehammer. Sedgehammer is it's a wonderful product. Follow the label instructions. You can spray that. You can't spray that in the vegetable garden, but you can spray it in the flower garden, the shrub border, near your trees, and it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt the lawn, but it'll take out those the sedge, and takes it out quick and thoroughly. And the thing about it is it's kind of a weird product, because you buy it, and it's a small little packet. You put it in 1 gallon of water, and then you spray it, and the label says you have to use all of that 1 gallon at a time. You can't store it, and then in a week you'll see some action. In 3 weeks, you'll get some real control. And the thing is that it kills the roots too. So does these products that we can use in the vegetable garden on the Bermuda grass. They'll kill the roots if you follow those label instructions. So, and then the one that we talked about is Jimson weed. Mark, are you familiar? Have you?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a couple of daturas in that family, and they have a picture of one there, but in the newspaper. But there's also one that a lot of people are familiar with. They may see a field with livestock in it, but they see a lot of this blue flower that's all in amongst the grasses, if there's any grasses left, and that is Datura as well. That's a different member of the family, but they also have this white flowered one.
Yeah, several white versions, an exotic and a native, and that's not an easy one to control because it's got it drops seeds, and the seeds will last. Some gardeners say the seeds will last 10 years, and so you if the seeds have dropped, you got to keep working. You pull the small plants, those that you can, but you always wear your gloves.
Yeah. It is toxic, and so you want to make sure you protect it and get rid of it and bag it up.
That's right. That's one of the main things in dealing with this Jimson weed is that you don't. I hesitate. I think of the compost pile as a wonderful place to put all kinds of foliage and everything, but this Jimson weed you don't, because the seed stores so long it does not decompose, and because of the toxic nature of the plant.
Before we continue, we have a guest here.
We have a well-known guest. She's very articulate with her questions.
Yes. Hello there, ma'am.
Hello, Janice.
Now they're going to put you on the spot here.
I came over here today to look for a macho fern. I don't see any, so I will continue in the hothouse, maybe when there's one in there.
So, I have found this past week. Directly behind this house, there are a couple of large live oaks, and underneath them they have a fern garden.
My. That's exactly why I want macho ferns to hang from my oak trees.
All right. I don't know. It's all out there.
Okay.
I just discovered it. Somebody else had asked me, and
usually they're over there. So
they are.
Thank you, Mark.
So that's where
I
was leading, and I was told by staff, "No, you're in the wrong place." And so they're right behind the house.
I hope there's still some there.
Me too.
But if they're not what you want, then the
phone service,
the garden, the hothouse, that's where I would go.
I have a few leftovers from last year that did not do well, and I do plan on repotting them. But what do you do to encourage the longer frond length versus short stubby ones?
Rain.
So it has nothing to do with the light?
No, they're both. You would be growing in the shorter or the darker
shade.
Out here. Yeah, the heavier shade. So the one thing between the two is the amount of rain we would have. So in order,
what I'm saying is, if I put it in deep shade, will it develop a longer frond, or if I put it in very light shade?
No. You'd always want to lean towards the heavier shade.
For the health of the plant, not necessarily the length of the frond.
That's correct.
All right, because I used to have some that were 3 and 4 feet long. They were beautiful. Mm-hmm. But not anymore.
Those were in an earlier time when it was rainier and cooler.
Yeah. Okay. Second question.
Back in the old days.
Before the freezes.
Yeah.
The other question is, my oaks are starting to put out a lot of secondary sprouts.
On the tree or in the ground?
On the tree.
Okay, good.
And should I be cutting those off, or should I be encouraging them?
So, a lot of people think they are aesthetically unpleasant, but a tree doesn't do anything bad to itself. So those sprouts are reacting to sunlight or something that happened to the tree, and so they are not detrimental to the tree.
I've seen some amazing pruning. I wanted to try to explain to people, no, just having that trunk there with no leaves on it is not going to prosper. Yeah, the leaves The leaves got to be.
Yeah, so they're not
sun
doing the
protection.
detrimental. They are helping the tree out. There was a long time ago. There was a old time arborist in town, and he had a great response to an attorney saying, "Well, you can't pump oil from Texas to New York City without some pumps along the way." That's what those little sprouts are doing. They're helping pump all the food up and down the trunk.
Okay.
So what we do is, what Calvin said is, we actually do a little bit of aesthetic pruning to thin those out, and they will develop into branches because they are exposed buds in the bark that have been exposed to something detrimental, like sunlight, and then now they're producing out sprouts.
And it's just the good news is that those live oaks are pretty tolerant. That those pruning jobs where they've been stripped, they'll still, for a couple years, be able to come back and put some more leaves on and say.
Now, if you strip too much, particularly on a thin bark species like red oak, then that will the tree will incur sun scald, where literally the sun will cook the bark on the exposed surfaces. So we hardly ever recommend pruning on a red oak on a long branch on that, because that's what will happen.
Okay, I guess my 200-year-old oaks can keep sprouting away.
They can now, when they get to a point where maybe this summer or this winter, we need to thin them out, and that you can call us over and we'll make that judgment.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right.
I looked for y'all over at the Festival of Flowers. I didn't find you this year.
No, we're not doing a remote this year.
Well, next year, maybe.
Maybe.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Well, we'd love to hear from anybody out there. Maybe someone's over at the Festival of Flowers, or they went earlier today. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. I know we discussed some of them earlier. We do have a lot of sales going on. The citrus is on sale starting at $49.99. I mean, just looking over, there's still a good selection of citrus available.
Yeah, you can't go wrong
with the citrus.
Citrus,
yeah.
As a backyard plant, they're very attractive. Fragrant blooms, evergreen. And you do have you have to the one issue is the cold protection. So that's one thing you want to look out. And the limes and the lemons are the most sensitive to the cold.
Oh, I bet. 210-308-8867. We have James on the line. James, it's good to hear from you. How's it going?
Going good. Hey, Calvin mentioned a product, if I heard right, a few minutes ago, and I've been kind of researching this product as well in my continuing battle with the Johnson grass. So around my coral vine, I found that same product, a high-yield grass killer. It's just called grass killer. And from what I understand, by looking at the manufacturer's website, I can spray that and it'll kill the Johnson grass and not harm the coral vine.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
That is
okay.
correct.
I found the product. Because that one seems to be a little less expensive than some of the other options. I just wanted to make sure before I bought it, because none of them are cheap. Okay, so that answers that. At the base of I had this one mesquite tree, big mesquite tree was here when we bought the property. At the base of this mesquite tree, I've noticed it has like a woody vine, if you will. The leaves, to me, kind of look like English ivy, but what I note about it when I mow around it It's got the 3 leaves. Is that some kind of poisonous vine that I don't want to mess with?
Are those
I want to try to
leaves
pull
kind
it
of
out.
like 3-lobed, kind of like a little heart shape, maybe together?
No, they're kind of like 3 separate leaves. I'm not looking at it, but they're kind of serrated on the edges.
Yeah, are they real?
But they look
crinkly?
like a.
Are they real? Is there a
No.
real fragrance from them, James?
Oh, I haven't smelled anything on them, but
Okay, no.
I haven't gotten.
The
real
one I was
close to
thinking
'em.
of, you would know.
Yeah, I was thinking Greenbrier.
Greenbrier. Okay, I'll Google that.
Yeah, but be careful because of that 3-tier. I'm just like Mark. That makes me fear that it might be one of those.
Yeah, so yeah, I would have to see it. There's a lot of little vines, little woody, shrubby little things that have leaves that do mimic poison ivy. Now, where you are, it could very, very well be, and I don't know the difference, poison oak or poison ivy. They look alike to me. But serrations, they don't usually have a lot of serrations. They may have 2 or 3.
No,
these
leaves are serrated pretty much across the board.
So it's not a poison ivy or poison oak. I don't know what it would be. I'd have to look at it and identify it.
It'd be interesting to identify it, though.
Yeah. I'd have to cheat and use my iNaturalist.
Okay. iNaturalist, is that the phone app? I don't have that. iNaturalist,
Well,
is that a phone app, Mark?
Yeah, yes, it is, and I have delayed putting it on as well because I want to have actual intelligence rather than artificial intelligence.
He's trying to pretend that he just hasn't just forgotten to put it on.
Okay, all right, that's what it is. No, I saw the speech to a university in West Michigan. It was the great Wozniak. And he's talking to the students, and he says, "You are the last generation which has AI, actual intelligence." So I thought that was cute. I will remember it.
Yeah, there was something on the news the other day, might have been yesterday, on AI when it comes to healthcare issues is wrong almost 50% of the time. That's real reassuring. If you got something ailing you. Yeah.
There's so many jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, so many jokes we can go from there, but we won't.
Is there an app for plant identification that you recommend that works for you? Or either one of y'all?
That particular one, and there's also another one, and I can't remember it right offhand. That's supposed to be pretty good, but I can't remember the name.
Well, and that'd be a good one if the gardeners out there in the audience, if you got one that really works well for you, let us know.
Yeah, please. Okay. All right, so you think maybe Greenbrier. I'll look it up. I Googled poison ivy and oak, and I was thinking it was poison oak because of the leaves, but it doesn't really look like either one of those.
Well,
okay.
Okay, now the Greenbrier, that's a tri-lobed leaf, one single leaf. So you said it was 3 separate ones, so I don't think it's Greenbrier.
Okay, so
but I don't
rule that one out.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to kind of pull it out because it's getting kind of large and unsightly. It's just I don't want to come down with the itchies.
Yeah, well,
I've had that before.
Wear your gloves and your sleeves.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind the threat.
And what we do is put your gloves on, your sleeves, and make a cut it off, and 2 drops.
Rather than pulling and yanking or sliding your hands across.
Yep, 2 drops of cut stump killer. Is that what we're calling it?
Vine and stump killer.
Vine and stump killer. We took the cut part out.
Hey, what is the shelf life on that product? Because I have a bottle of that, and I've had it for several years. Is it still good?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it is. I've got a 4 or 5. Some of them are as old as you're talking about. Some of them are relatively new, and they all seem to work well.
Oh yeah, and I'm not supposed to, but it's in the back seat of my car, or not back seat. It's in the trunk, and it's supposed to be in a cool, dry place like everything else, but it's in the trunk, and it's still working. It still works pretty well.
Okay. My main thing is on that grass killer. I want to knock that Johnson grass because it's really taking over that coral vine, or trying to, and I need to get it out of there. So I'll go ahead and give that a shot.
Sounds good.
Pun intended. All right, thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Great questions.
Like we were saying, if you know any other apps to help identify plants, definitely give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Do we need to add anything else on the, on our article topic?
I was just going to ask, right before one of the breaks, and we have some in the nursery, and we promoted them years ago as the summer snapdragon, Angelonia.
Yeah.
And so, shall I talk about them? You talk about it? Well, we have this plant called Angelonia, and it mimics snapdragons.
We've got.
Yeah, we have some here.
We have some, yeah.
Yeah. So very similar flowers in the fact that you got the whites, the pinks, purples.
They remind me of our plant right out here, in terms of the one that the hummingbird likes so much. But they're not as showy as snapdragons, but
they do have upright. They're kind of upright.
And I've grown those, and actually they are pretty much deer-proof. Although they've got a structure that breaks when the deer walk through them, but when I've grown them, I haven't grown them for a couple of years, but I don't remember ever having a problem with the deer feeding on them.
There was a movement afoot to make them a superstar. I don't know wherever that ever happened or anything like that, but
they're not quite as showy as snapdragons, but they are also, if I remember right, they're very tolerant of the heat.
Mm-hmm. So that's why they were promoted, as this heat-loving or summer snapdragons, because, as Calvin mentioned in the article, snapdragons tend to go away with the heat and with pest problems.
Yeah, and the Angelonia I've never had any problem with them, and the rust either that we get on the snapdragons in about June 1st every year. So. Yeah, that's an interesting plant, Mark. I'll bet there's some gardeners out there that grow it almost every year.
Yeah,
because it is one that it's kind of an intimate. That it does, it's not one you'd plant over a 200 square foot area, but it's in little patches. It does really well, kind of close to the patio and everything. Yeah, I kind of like them.
Yeah, but you're right. It's not a showy. No, it's kind of like a little add-on right there.
What colors do we have here?
We have the pastels of white, pink, and purple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things. They're not as bright. The foliage kind of dominates the blooms. There's a lot of the blooms there. Some of the pollinators like them a lot. And they are generally tough, and can put up with our erratic rainfall and our heat. So that's interesting. If anybody wants to give us a report on Angelonia, just to remind us of what the desirable characteristics are and if they've had any problems with it, that would be pretty interesting.
While we're waiting, we still have a lot of other items for sale here at Milberger's, including the Bougainvillea, all sizes, now 25% off. We have stepping stones, which are the 2-inch by 8-inch by 16-inch, regularly $2.99, on sale $188 or 10 for $15. Southern wax myrtle in a number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale $16.88.
Let's get Mark's feeling on that. I grew it a bunch of years ago, but I found that it was not didn't live up to what I expected. I was trying to remember what killed it. It was not as tough as I expected for some reason. Mark, you got any feeling about wax myrtle?
It's about well said. So when I was helping the landscape crews at Saws, and particularly the Saws headquarters, they had a lot of wax myrtle, southern wax myrtle, and over time, over 10 years, 10, 15 years, they all died at the Saws, and they're replacing them with some eopon and some other evergreen shrubs. But well said. He said they never lived up to their reputation or what we expected of them. There's still places for them.
Yeah.
I think they do well in
There's some
those
gardeners
areas
that swear by them. But.
Yeah. When you have adequate soil and adequate moisture. And so if you were in, again, the Southtown area, south of downtown, King William, it'd be an excellent tree.
If I remember right, they have berries that the birds like.
Right, exactly. That's another reason why it was recommended for a long time. Thin soil, heat, I don't think it would do as well. But east of town, south of town, definitely.
Yeah. So, that's an interesting plant for sure.
We also have Japanese boxwood and a number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale $2 for $40.
What about I was noticing all the Laura Bush petunias everywhere. It looks kind of like my yard that and that's what are they on sale now? No.
Petunias, no.
You mean, in these hanging containers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we talked about that. They were on sale a couple of weeks ago, but what we said was, they make great hanging baskets. So the Wave and the Laura Bush, beautiful.
Yeah, and they'll be back if you plant them. And they're attractive. I always find them kind of unpredictable when they're going to be blooming, but they do bloom over a long period and attractive. They'll generally go into the summer. They can put up with a lot more heat than most of the petunias can, and then they'll be back. They'll be back in the fall too. So that's an interesting plant for you to have in your landscape, and it's one that will find a place. If you plant it now, it'll be back and find the places that meet your needs and are very attractive. Lots of different color versions.
We still have plenty more sales going on. We'll discuss them when we come back. And give us a call, 210-308-8867. We'll be right back with Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
All right, so Calvin gave Alex and I a big grocery bag of vegetables last week, and
to kind of coincide with the article on the on the vegetable harvest.
So the vegetables went fast, particularly the tomatoes. They were raved about your tomatoes, cherry tomatoes.
Yes.
They had two different ones. It looks like.
Yeah, Ruby Crush and BHN 968.
The cucumbers as well. The cucumbers were really really good.
So all the neighbors in the Carolina Carolina compound, like I say, everything went really fast except eggplant. So I just took the eggplant, and going to cook that up. But it was amazing. It was like,
how do you cook it?
I don't know. I'm going to go on the internet and cook it, see which is an easy way to do it. Now this was in Calvin's yards. It's kind of a pear shape or bell shape.
Yeah, it's
eggplant. It's not not like an Ichiban.
Black Beauty.
Yeah. So we'll figure out how to do that.
Maybe somebody has a recipe out there they want to share.
Maybe if somebody has a recipe,
well, you can
that's really easy.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of recipes for hot dishes. You can
exactly.
Just cook it like summer squash too.
So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That was
just dip it a little bit in a little flour and spices and
and that was my idea on that one, and I'll do that either today or tomorrow. But
it always amazes me that so many societies utilize the eggplants and seem to really like them.
Well, it is. I always like to say it's one of the 4 that we recommend gardeners use during the summer. So eggplant, peppers, okra, and southern peas.
And they're very attractive. The plants are attractive.
Yeah. So as the Europeans say, aubergine, and then we go eggplant. So, but they're very beautiful.
Okay, we'll be curious to hear.
Yeah.
Call.
What are you giggling about? I'm anxious to hear what you did on with them.
So
I should have brought him up to
your parents.
To your parents, yeah. What did Alex do with those? He didn't dump them in the compost pile, did he?
No, absolutely not. But yes, let us know any recipes you have for eggplants at 210-308-8867.
But that was pretty funny. So I open up the bag. I go, look at all the goodies that are from Calvin's yard. And boom, 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 boom. Everything is gone. I'm like, oh. Well, the last thing we go was the yellow onion, the Granix.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it was yellow onion. Yeah. Plain. But the Red Creole went fast.
Yeah, it was 10:15.
10:15. Sorry.
Yeah, Red Creole and 10:15. I always go.
But then I'm just looking in the bag, and the last little lonely vegetable was the eggplant.
Eggplant. Yeah. I feel sorry for it. I have a new affection for it. Now I'm thinking I've got one that's been sitting on my counter for a while. I'm going to break down and. Go ahead and cook it.
I was going to say, call in so Mark and Calvin have recipes to go. But what I was originally planning to do was the eggplant fried up like summer squash, maybe some little cubes of fresh tomato and.
Oh, that sounds good too.
And then eat it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the vegetables are going strong. Peppers are really producing.
And I should just briefly mention, we have 7 or 8 different varieties of peppers that I can see just from the porch. So I haven't looked at them, but I would guess there's 6 or 7 different varieties. So come on by, get some transplants. It is summer. It's June 1st. Oh no, that'll be tomorrow. Sorry, Monday.
Now the cucumbers are really producing too, but they're pretty good.
Oh yeah,
cucumbers are easy to use because if they're fresh cucumbers early in the season, you don't even have to peel them. But most folks peel them, but I just kind of slice them and eat them crispy.
Yeah, the neighbors were going on how they're going to use the cucumbers, and it was mostly slice thinly, maybe with some tomatoes, and then some vinegar and maybe a little bit of balsamic and toss that all around, and then kind of use that as kind of a fresh salad.
I always, I read those English murder mysteries all the time, and they're always talking about tea. And then the other thing is cucumber sandwiches.
Now those you do have to take off the skin a little bit, if you will.
And what kind of bread do you use with a cucumber sandwich? Just anytime?
Generally it's a white with the crust taken off.
Okay.
A little mini sandwich.
Yeah. It kind of hides the flavor then, doesn't it? Well, I guess not.
Well,
white bread without a
Well, I
crust.
think there's a little, just a smear of something, a mayo or I don't know. Somebody will have to tell us either today or tomorrow. What's on the cucumber sandwich?
Yeah, or I'll have to go back into one of my novels and find out what they...
Yeah.
A few of them have lots of recipes.
I'm sure it's just like a little vinegar or a little light mayo or something. I don't know.
But they're good. The cucumbers are surprisingly good for you, and of course, no calories and just nutritional.
They are, particularly with maybe some vinegar or something like that. They are very good for the digestive system. Now, some folks, like my mother and I, those cucumbers remind us throughout the day that we have eaten them. So, but they are supposed to be good for the digestive system.
And just to wrap up the sales we have this week, we'll talk about them again tomorrow as well. We have Sandanqua, Viburnum, and Sweet Viburnum.
Oh, you're getting better at it.
Yeah, I was thinking of that when we were talking about the... what was the other?
Where the Yopon. We're talking about... Now, the dwarf Yopon is on sale, but we were talking about the standard Yopon.
Yes. Yeah, the Sandanqua and the Viburnums are in the same league as far as I'm concerned as the most of the hollies.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful plants for our landscape here. And with have you noticed how attractive the Sandanquas are over there? There's some of them in large containers. I mean, those must be 10-gallon, 15-gallon containers.
I think the rain and the watering is making them really happy.
Gosh, yeah, they look good. And the thing about this Viburnum too is they have shade tolerance, and you got lots of choices. You can they kind of meet Mark's request to have a plant. There were a species of plant that you could about 7 different versions, and you could have a shrub border of just Viburnum.
Yeah.
Some of them 12 feet tall, and some of them 2 feet tall, or a lot of them. I think what is the Sandanqua? Is that about 6 feet tall? Or about 5?
Yeah. Well, I think there are a couple different varieties on that. So they could do even 15. So, but usually taller ones on the Sandanqua, and then which other one is on sale?
Sandanqua and the Sweet.
Okay, so Tinus.
Yeah, the Sweet's smaller.
They're both. And in number 3, they're regularly $24.99. They're on sale 2 for $40.
Generally the Sweet or Tinus.
Yeah, if you've never seen them, come and take a look at them, because you'll be impressed by that Sandanqua Viburnum. They're very compact, disciplined grower.
Yeah.
They have some blooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and berries.
Excuse me. Some white blooms in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like them. I lost mine. I don't know which freeze it was. Was it 21 or?
Probably 21.
21 was the big one.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking, I keep having this look outside my office window there, and I think I got to get those new Sandanquas back in there, because they were so attractive, and they fit perfect in that with a little sun peeking through every once in a while, but mostly shade.
Yeah. We also have knockout roses, both the double red and single red. Number 3 regularly $34.99, on sale $24.88. Texas sage values to $169.99, now 15% off.
That's one of Mark's favorite. Well, it's one of my favorites now too.
Yeah, and I believe we have several different varieties, so that's or species, so that's available.
Yes,
I should say varieties, not species. So it's one species, several different varieties. Probably Lynn's Legacy. We still no. That's a different species. We still have some Lynn's Legacy.
I don't know. Last time I looked, I don't remember seeing any.
We'll ask off the air, and then the staff will tell us.
Yes.
And there is a very kind of a lot of variation in size too. Ultimate growing size, but they're a tough plant. Full sun. Mm-hmm. Do they tolerate shade? Or no, they
don't. No,
they like.
No, we've had some phone calls in the past and some photos sent to us, and we'd look at it and go, "What's wrong with my Cenizo?" And then we'd look around and go, "How much shade does that plant get?" And then invariably we'd have to drag it out. I said, "Well, yeah, it's shade most of the day, or it gets morning sun."
And then a lot of them started in full sun.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Then 20 years from now, now the oaks and everything have grown over the top of them. And the gardener's saying, well, it's always been in full sun. Well, that picture doesn't look like it's full sun.
So the more sun, the better for Cenizos. So if you have a new house with a new landscape and not much sun, and you want a hedge or a border, then one of the varieties of Cenizo. I think green shade is one, and I know we have green shade. I think green shade is a good one for that because it'll be a little taller.
Yeah, that's a good plant. It's a good xeriscape plant, and kind of can be quiet in the landscape for most of the time, but then as we get close to rain periods, the blooms come shooting out of it. And one of the characteristics that it has always amazes me is that it's a native plant, a tough native plant, that you can prune the heck out of it and it still will bloom, which is just not a usual thing. Usually the exotic plants are select. One of the reasons that they're selected for area landscapes is that they're flexible in terms of pruning. But you won't. The Texas sage is one that you can really prune the way you want it.
Inside a minute, but we do have some other things for sale. We'll probably touch base on the rest of them tomorrow. Crepe myrtles, they're regularly $44.99, now 25% off. We also have...
That's great.
Yeah.
Great price.
Great
They're
price.
blooming.
And we'll be talking. We can talk about that.
Tomorrow?
I'll talk about at length about crepe myrtles tomorrow.
Absolutely. Just one more before we hit the last minute. Red yuccas, number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale $19.88. One more. The Aztec grass, number 1, regularly $8.99, on sale for $5.88.
Well, and also talk about fertilizer.
And fertilizer. There's plenty of fertilizer.
Fertilizer, yes.
There we go.
$14.59.
Yep.
And I mentioned in my article that...
Did you?
There's still time.
Yes,
Still time to fertilize?
Yeah, well, because of this rain and everything, and the grass is growing up a storm, and people finally started
definitely.
mowing it, and it could utilize the fertilizer, and it's 1959.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the best.
All right, thank you again. Listening to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We will see you tomorrow.